it's so funny to think that we have so much hatred towards Obama
just because
that would appoint anything into office.
Not anybody,
anything into office. Not anybody, anything into office.
What did he do?
I don't know. It's a black person. Period.
No, okay,
that's the only thing that Obama did wrong.
So when Trump said that Obama wasn't American,
yeah,
he wasn't talking about his birth certificate.
No,
he was talking about ancient days.
Of course.
Whatever happened that you guys don't belong. Okay, good day, folks. Good day, all our viewers, subscribers, all the old power fans around the world, from Nigeria, to Liberia, to Mozambique, South Africa, Uganda, everybody. Okay, and all folks from Worcester and around the United States. This is Orasa Akode reporting from Old Power TV, and I have my regular guest here. You know, he's a frequent flyer on Old Power TV. Yeah, his name is MC Omo, and you know, just introduce yourself one more time for those new guys who don't know you.
I know, right, guys? Also, my name is MC Omo. I live here in Worcester. I'm a stand-up comedian, MC, and I do everything. I also. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So I saw like on your Facebook post, I think about a month ago, you were showing stuff about what you used to do, like in 2015 when you did like something on mechanics saw.
Yeah.
Can you tell us like what it is?
So usually I do a comedy show every year.
Okay.
So I think I started in 2015. I've done like 5 different editions, and the only time that I didn't do any was last year. And that was just a little break that I was taking, you know, just to kind of reassess the show and see what is it that we need to turn around for a better show for people who have been being consistent with coming on for the show. So we just wanted to make sure everything is, you know, put together well. So that's why we're taking a little bit break. But we've done 5 different editions already.
Wow. And is it only for Africans or for everyone?
So my comedy show is for everyone. So I tried very hard to ensure that it's strictly English, and then secondly, I try very hard that it's family oriented.
Okay.
That way, even kids can come.
You can bring your
because
family.
Understanding the American culture, you know, you can't be paying $50 to come and, you know, watch a comedy show. Then you have to go and pay babysitter $100. That means you're spending $150. You may as well bring the $150 and bring a friend. And that is, you know what I'm saying. So it's a family centered comedy show. It's open to everyone, and like the previous one that I think the second to the last one that we did, we had a couple of white folks who actually came. And,
that's good.
Yeah.
So it's like if you consistently do it, it will gain traction, and before you know,
yes, absolutely, you know. Absolutely, and that's the goal. Because if I may just speak to that, the very first time when I did it in 2015, some people told me that I shouldn't bother.
No. Before you did it,
some people told me. I just mentioned it to a guy. I said, "Hey, I wanted to organize a comedy show in Worcester."
They wanted to kill your spirit.
He's like, "Yeah, don't even." It was quick and short. Don't bother. And for me, that's what I don't want to hear. Don't tell me I can't do anything, because then I want to do it.
Yeah.
So when he said, "Don't bother," I'm like, "Don't bother." Why? He said, "Trust me, our people will not show up." Like what? So after that, I gained more courage to actually wanted to do it. So the next thing I did was to talk to my wife about it, and she's like, "Yeah, let's do it." And that was it.
Wow.
And,
Well, I guess we have to learn to trust in ourselves. That is one thing that is keeping us Africans from pursuing greater heights.
Absolutely, that's one. And also, you know, people want to limit your abilities because whatever that is difficult for them, they want to make sure that it's also difficult for you.
Oh, okay. So it's
like if I'm unable to do it, why do you think you're going to be able to do it? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think that's the mentality of most.
Don't you think we still have this mentality that most of us think we don't belong here? So to them, they are coming to make money to go. So they don't think they are settling. So for you to do that, like, what are you doing? You know, they think you should be doing something back home.
Yeah.
But not here.
Yeah. That, and also the fact that okay, so if you think about it, most Africans that are in diaspora, right, we all have talents. We have folks that are into videography. We have people with photography. We have people
who are seamstresses, mechanics.
You see what I'm saying?
Who have like talent.
People who
but
have
they
talent.
come here, they're working in the factory.
Thank you. They work in the factory, they work in a nursing home, they work in places you'll be like, bro, you have handwork. You can do that. Look at Worcester. There is no place where you can repair tire. There's no African selling tires.
But
there's no
our people
African.
are so well, we have one Master Danso. You know,
Oh, yeah?
it's on Fremont Street.
Please, maybe
He has a huge garage. Trust me.
I need stuff like that.
I will set you up with him.
Please
His name
do.
is,
I need somebody like that.
Dan's Auto Repair. He's been in the business for like 15 years or so.
Oh yeah, I need folks like that.
He's a Ghanaian. He has a bunch of folks who like
yeah?
working with him. He has a huge garage.
The other day I put it actually on Facebook. I was asking folks that, do you know any garage that, because I think since the incident of George Floyd, I mean, even before then, it has always been my drive to promote and support African businesses. So immediately after George Floyd's incident happened, I'm like, yeah, we can protest. Yes, we can fight. We can speak up. But at the same time, what is it that we're doing indoor? Yeah, to promote ourselves, to better our community. See, this is one of the things that we can do. Supporting African businesses and putting our money where it should be amongst ourselves.
Because sometimes when you go to these quote-unquote white garages, they will charge you some huge...
They will charge you, one. And secondly, they really don't care about you. They care about your money.
Yeah.
And that's the power that Africans, both Africans and even the black Americans too, that's the power that we have that we've not really utilized to better ourselves yet. Do you know how much money that black people actually put into the economy? Crazy amount of
billions.
money. But we do not realize the power of that money. That's how we can actually change the system in this country.
Yeah.
You know,
it's sad, and one of the complaints we get is most people who have their business is like, when an African comes, he or she doesn't want to pay. But when he or she goes to a white person's garage or white person's shop,
twice.
No, they can't even bargain.
They pay times 3.
You know, I have a friend who has a beauty shop, like in Kentucky.
Yeah.
And it says like some people will cross his shop to go to a white person or an African American or Jamaicans.
Yeah.
You know.
Let me give you a very good example. A friend of mine who is a lawyer here in Worcester, okay? Oh, he just recently moved out of Worcester. So in his office, where he works, right? Somebody who is African came in with a case. And they sat down in his office, they negotiated, and he gave a fee. And she was like, oh, no, that's too high. Could you believe in the same building, she paid double that price for a white guy? No, this is not a movie. This is real life here in Worcester.
Do you think something is wrong with us?
Of course something is wrong. Listen.
Wait, is it genetically or spiritual?
See, we are fighting a war. And there is no way to fight such a war if you've not realized that what you're dealing with, it's beyond physical.
Yeah, okay.
We have mentally we've been brainwashed. Okay, think about it. Are you a Christian?
Yeah.
How did you become a Christian?
By believing in Christ.
How?
Like,
because you were born into a Christian home. That's what I'm saying. So if you're born into a home where the understanding of that family background is you're inferior, the white people are superior. Tell me, how do you remove that in your head?
You have to decode.
You see what I am saying?
Rewind, reset, and put it back in.
That's how Christianity also works. I became a Christian because I was born into a Christian home. What if I was born into a Muslim home? What do you think I would have been?
Muslim.
It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. And this is a generational system. That's why they say systemic racism. Systemic racism is something that has been put in place.
Put in place, and the system takes care of itself.
You see what
you don't have to do anything; it will take care of itself.
Thank you. You don't have to.
They'll continue feeling inferior.
That's
you
it.
continue feeling superior.
That's it.
They will not get any breaks. We'll get every break.
Yes.
So wait, the vice president in my company.
Yeah.
The senior vice president of the entire state. He's about 32 years.
Can you imagine that?
You know, when they told me today, I sat back, like we're having a Zoom meeting, and I'm like, oh goodness. 32 years.
32.
And I'm like, I'm qualified. The only thing he has is he is done with his PhD. I'm almost done with mine.
32.
But it's like 32 years.
Yes.
And they were like, oh, he has a ton of experience. And then I'm like, I'm looking at him like.
Most of the people in the House of Representatives became congressmen and women at the age of 20s and 30s.
No, at the age of 25, they are supervisors.
And then
So by 30, they are making $70,000-$80,000.
Yeah.
And so like by 35, they call like so much experience. Like what experience?
yeah, and that's why you have a lot of old cargos in the Congress.
So
They've been there for 40 years, 45 years. I mean, for goodness sake, it's not your father inheritance.
Ed Markey, the one who's running
Ed
for
Markey,
president, he's been in
20
Congress. No, for 40 years.
40 years.
So that's why Joseph Kennedy is contesting.
It's like,
no, we need some fresh
dude,
blood.
I'm done. Pack your bag and go.
No, but he doesn't want to go because
Well,
it tastes sweet.
Trust me. You see, nobody wants to lay hands on power and just willingly just let it go. It's hard. Trust me. Even if you became a congressman today, and somebody says, you know what, well, it's enough. 4 years is enough. Just pack your bag and go.
Like, come on.
The first thing that comes to your mind is where you started and how far you've come. And things that only you know that you can get done. Of course, you don't want to go. But for people like me, who don't work with you, know you, or know what you do on a daily basis to better the lives of your constituent, I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know your plans. Only you does. So you want to stay on and continue, and before you know it, you may actually lose the track of what you're actually willing to get done, and you just lash on to power. You just want to remain. You want to remain. You want to remain, and that's what's going on. Whatsoever it is that you have in mind that you were going to do that you thought could actually take you 4 years will end up taking you 20 years.
So how is it so sad that we come here, we say we're educated, but you struggle just to be even a supervisor?
Yeah, it's a system.
You know, by the time you become supervisor, they must have passed you on 2 or 3 times
It's
to
a
the point
system.
where they don't have any choice or any option.
Yeah.
Then they'll put you in there.
You know what? This is what I
You
say.
know.
This is what I say, right? I have teenagers in my church that I talk to sometimes, and I say, guys, you're gonna have to try harder. If you have a white friend in your school who is only taking a step or 2, that is, you have to take 10 steps
Yeah.
to equate that 2 steps.
Yeah.
Now, if you have to get ahead, then you have to take 15 steps, because it's like when you're running a race. You want to run from here to Connecticut, and they've already put me ahead of you. Let's say I'm around Willie Martins.
Yeah.
Willie Martins is about 20-15 minutes, and Willie Martins is still far away from Connecticut, Hartford, but at the same time you're still ahead of me. And then I was told that, okay, we're gonna put chains on I'm gonna tie your both legs. And the other guy who you already placed in Willie Martins, there's no chain. He's running. First of all, I have chain in my legs. I can't run, and I'm starting my race from in Worcester.
And no, you're starting for your race from Worcester, and your family from Abeokuta.
You see what I'm saying?
They're also calling.
The system. The system is structured.
It's so sad. Like when we had a Zoom meeting today, like directors, and I'm like, oh, we're having a new vice president, senior vice president of the entire state. And it's like, oh, he's such like a young guy, and blah blah blah.
He comes with 20 years
He has a lot of experience. He's dealt with with adults. He's done with kids. He's done with, he also has a PhD. And someone brought that to like, how old is like 32?
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
I was just imagining where I was when I was 32 years old.
Okay, do you know what? Another thing that I've realized is this: the kids that we have in this country, they realize their potential between the age 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Back home, people who actually realize their potential between the age of 1 to 10. Maybe
no. When your father maybe is a professor and knows, those parents are very educated.
That would be the category of those who are able to realize their potential from 1 to 10.
Just a few.
An average man.
No, by 40. No.
30 is when you begin to realize, oh, I can sing. At the age of 30, you're just realizing that you can sing.
That's why we can play soccer till you are 50. Because
you know what I'm saying? That's why you have the football age. You have the system, and to actually surprise you, the same system that we talk about here in this country, well, we also have it back home.
Yeah, but ours is a little you know, it's not
Think,
too
think about it.
pronounced.
Think about it. It's not pronounced, but we do have it. If you went to school and you graduated, after 4 years you're done. All right. And your father or your mother are not connected. They don't know nobody in the bank that you can get hired. They don't know anybody in any company to hire you. All you have is your knowledge, right? So you're gonna have to prove yourself. How? You can never prove yourself if you've never been placed in a situation
Where you
to
can
actually
prove yourself,
exercise your skills.
What you know.
You see what I'm saying? But somebody whose father is connected, somebody whose mother is connected, can easily pick a phone. Remember the analogy that I gave on the previous show that I said the kid had an accident?
Yeah.
So your father can actually pick a phone and say, hey, Mr. Whoever, my son just graduated. Even before you graduate, they have already had that conversation in their club. They've already had the conversation. So you moment you're done, you're hired. I have a good example. A cousin, okay, he was still in school when the father, who happened to be my own uncle, already called his own friend. Like, listen, my son will be done next year. Make sure we start a year before. Make sure that position is still there. By the time this guy finishes, he's just starting work right away. Within few months of working, I'm talking about Nigeria. Few months of work, he already bought a car, everything is already set up, and he's comfortable. Yet we have folks who have been out of school for 4 good years.
In Ghana, we have unemployed graduates association. Unemployed graduates. Now before the association, because you know. So wait. We Africans. A friend of mine called me about 2 days ago that they have a contract.
Yeah.
They're looking for CNAs, LPNs, RNs.
Yeah.
So I was telling my wife yesterday, why is it that in this country they have a lot of work?
There's so much work.
Wait. So our system doesn't produce work. Our system kills work.
Yeah.
But over here, it's like there's always so much. So I'm like, I have brothers and sisters back home who are unemployed, and we think they are lazy. We think they are stupid because they're not working.
Yeah.
But there's nothing for them to do over there.
Nothing. There's
But
no employment.
over here, you can come and look, see how like they are literally begging to get people to work because they have a contract. They need people so badly.
Yeah. There's always something to do in this country, and the system is set up that way. The system is set up so much that you begin to realize the population of old people in America continue to increase, and as the population increases, so also are the professionals. The need to service those old population is also increasing. So it now depends on what field that you're going into. Is it PT? Is it occupational therapy? Is it therapy? Is it psychiatrist?
We don't have those kind of jobs in Africa. If you're a psychiatrist, who cares about you? If you do psychology in, let's say, University of Ibadan.
So go and do what?
Sociology.
Teacher.
No, sociology. What are you going to do?
You do teacher.
But over here we have sociologists.
It is there. The job is there. The job is set up. Listen, they set up this system to accommodate everybody. So
Africa is a systemic problem.
It is.
It's like at one time, like some friends of mine, we met this guy, Bill Clinton. He was giving a speech. So afterwards, we met him on the side. Like, hey, sir, what do you think is the problem with Africa? we asked him. We Africans asking a white guy, what is the problem with Africa? so he looked at us like, yeah, you know, he's old now. It's like, I think the problem with Africa, after going through his Clinton global initiatives, like, I think the problem with Africa is like you don't have the right systems in place. That's what he told us. Like, you don't have the right systems in place. Said that if you put in like the right figures, you always get the wrong answers. You know, he said like the systems over there, we don't have the systems, and the systems over there are not functional. Yes. And I'm like, I thought he gave a very profound like analysis, like, yeah, which was true. You don't have the systems, so that if anyone is going on retirement, he knows he's gonna die, so he doesn't want to go.
Yeah.
You know, so people who are like 55, 60, now they are almost like 70, and they've been bribing the auditors just so they don't go, because when they go on retirement, they're going to die.
Yeah.
You know, when they go on retirement, they don't have anything, and it's like the system is so bad that now when they go on retirement, they only depend on their kids. If their kids are also struggling, or if one kid who makes it, they all come to you.
Yeah.
You know,
and then so if out of 5 kids, just one of them was able to make it. So
barely make it,
and 4 are poor. That same one person that is rich, it just might not know it yet, is also poor.
Yeah,
because
no.
he's responsible for not only 4 kids, for the mom and the dad. That's 6 on him. And then when such a person gets married, that's why there's chaos.
No, so it's like this. That's how it is. It's a system. So wait, the system is designed to bring you down. So
No, I
because
don't think it's- I don't think it's
if
the
you
only
graduate
system,
from
though.
college and your dad is almost like, let's say, 55, 60ish, 60ish. Okay, he's near retirement,
Yeah.
but he's not done with his 3 bedroom. Okay, so you know,
You will have to complete the 3 bedroom.
so you have to complete it, and now you get married. And like, no, the minute you tell mom you want to get married, the mom will be like, are you stupid?
How
But
old are you?
mom, I'm 27, 28.
No,
No,
you're
like,
not
no,
old enough.
you are stupid. No, who is going to take off your sisters? Because if they allow you to get married,
That's it.
your wife is gonna block the way.
Yeah.
So sometimes
Maybe first, second, third years,
would
you might be
you would even want to
flexible.
believe that some mothers will do certain things spiritually to stop their sons from getting married.
Yes.
I have a friend whose father told him that the friend came, I think that was 2 years ago. He came here, but he was very responsible. And his father is in Ghana. He's like, you know what? I'm so glad your grandmother is not alive. And he asked his father why. It's like, your grandmother was so traditional that she would never allow you to get married. So the dad is like, I'm so glad your grandmother is not alive, because if you get married, who's going to take care of the family?
Yeah. Somebody got to take
You
the
know,
job.
so my friend told me, and I'm like, your dad is a very smart guy. He's telling you reality. You know,
And I think that is not only that's not actually systemic though. That is it's a tradition. You see, it's a tradition. So when you're talking about a systemic, the systemic barriers. Okay, if we talk about systemic barriers, right? We can say that the government already has the system that has become a barrier to the masses, but we also have the traditional barriers. Okay, so those traditional barriers is the categories of that traditional barrier is what you're talking about. That's where it belongs. See, that is from, if you have 3 siblings, right, and you are the oldest, the expectation is you're going to take care of the all 3.
yeah.
The same way, if your father is well-to-do, okay, you are the firstborn, you're going to be the one to inherit the property, and then you trickle down the other siblings. So that's the same thing. Those are tradition, but the systemic barriers that we're talking about are what has been put in place by people in power, so that the generations yet unborn will be comfortable just by the mere fact that they are fortunate enough to hold a position. Think about it. A man who becomes, and I think there's something about power, especially not even just in Africa, even in America, the same thing.
Power is one of my professors said, like, those who control the kingdom, the power and the glory, they will never give to you until you beat them.
You have to fight to get it.
Like
it's not easy to
wait,
give it up.
why should I fight just so you can give me liberty?
It's great.
No, why do I have to protest? So yesterday, I think it's in Tennessee. The governor, they signed a bill into law. All those who protested and were arrested, they're going to find a way to strip them of their voting rights.
Yeah, that's the idea. Listen. So you see the country, especially this country, America, right? I keep going back to the same analogy. It's so simple. When this country was discovered, discovered, like they say it was discovered, and they started writing the Constitution, white men were not thinking about, we're going to go to Africa and bring black men, so because of that, let's adjust our Constitution to fit them.
Yeah.
No, they weren't thinking that. They were thinking about the same people, the population. That's the majority.
At that time, they were like 98%.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The majority are white people.
So we the people meant. So
when they say
we the slaves.
yeah, when they say we the people, they
The
did not
people.
say-
It wasn't
There was
everyone.
No, it wasn't. Black folks were not included in that statement when they say we the people. And when you think about the systemic that we're talking about, it's still the same thing. The systemically placed constitution is not for black people. It is for white people. because, and it makes sense to be for white people because they are the majority. They brought us here, so we're not part of that constitution. So it makes sense for constitution to be written that way. But my expectation as an individual would be that after so many revolutions and decades of redefining what the constitution is and amendment to constitution, somebody somewhere should have realized, based on history, that this constitution was not written to be inclusive. You understand? So this constitution was not written to be inclusive, even though the foundation of the country says that the foundation is actually based upon bringing folks from other places. Every single person in this country called America, they are immigrants. Everyone, except if you are, only the Indians. So that's why when I hear Columbus, or what's his name, discovered America. How can you discover a place where there are people living there? The same way they said, what is the guy who they said discovered Nigeria? How can you discover a country that you are a foreigner in? So those things don't make sense. So it takes, when you speak, especially when an historian talks and they say, this is what we know about this place. Yeah, those are people you should speak to. Those will tell you that this individual did not discover this country. They did not discover this nation. But those are facts that they don't want anyone to know. See, everything about this country is a big lie, bro. It's a big lie
that has been skillfully crafted, and it's been told, and it's like difficult to refute now, because anyone who tries to tell the truth now, it becomes like, oh my goodness, how dare you?
Can't tell
what get out of here.
Yes, what I can't really rephrase it the way this person puts it, but this person says that when history has stayed long enough, people tend to shape history. They shape the narrative to fit their current situation,
especially if they are the one writing history.
Absolutely.
So, I don't know if it was you who said, like, until the deer and the tiger learns how to talk, the story will always fit like the greatness of the hunter.
Absolutely.
Because the hunter who comes home to tell about what he did, but how he struggled, how he nearly got killed, he will never say it. No, I'm the great guy who was able to kill a lion, an elephant. So until those animals learn how to talk.
Yes.
Let's talk about this. Kamala Harris.
Oh, Kamala.
Your sister.
my beautiful sister
from Onitsha. From Anambra State. Kamala Harris.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So, oh my God.
The thing is, I'm glad we've been able to put one of our own there. Even though she's South, we don't care. She is one of us.
We've not been able to put her there yet.
well, at least it's a step.
She's on the way to go there.
So wait. I feel blessed that this time we have somebody, and I'm also glad because I have a daughter, that women can also see.
Yes.
We nearly got there 4 years ago.
Yes.
But women can also see themselves aiming higher. What do you think about Kamala, sister?
So, Kamala.
We have to give her an African name. We have to give her an African name.
We'll give her Kafaya.
Kafaya.
Kamala. We'll give her Kafaya Arishe. Yeah. Kafala Arishe is the name we're going to give to her.
Yeah, she needs an African name.
She needs, the thing is, I'm glad that we're making progress, and I'm glad that we're poking some
holes.
Yes.
And now it's like, I like the fact that Biden is not a too strong a person, and he's old now, so we can push him.
He understands that.
So we can push him.
Yep, he understands that.
And if we push him before he knows, I'm not saying anything, but Kamala can be president.
Not even. You don't even have to say it. You do not have to say it. Even Biden himself said it maybe like a week or less ago, right? He said that he's
going to get it for us.
He said he realizes, he's getting old. He said he knows that he doesn't have as much strength. He said this himself, that he doesn't have as much strength as he used to have back in the day.
Yeah, he was fiery.
To actually go for it. But he wants somebody who's as strong
and capable.
Yes, fierce as he was then. So that's why he chose Kamala, right? With the hope that if anything happens to him, she is incapable. She has the strength and the capability to be president. So those were the decision-making factors He didn't just pick her because she's black or because it's because she has the skills to be able to lead.
Yeah, and she has the guts. She
does.
She's the fighter.
Here's another thing that I said, right? For Joe Biden to pick Kamala Harris, right, despite the fact that she attacked him on the debate stage, shows how Biden himself shows his own strength as an individual.
It's like he's willing to confront his fears. He's very accepting of feedback.
Compared to the 45 that we have in the office now, who says that he hasn't done anything to ask God for forgiveness?
And
even pastor, even Jesus.
No.
I mean, come on.
No. And we let's not even go there. You know, he's a different case.
It's a different case.
Yeah.
So to talk about my sister, because now Kamala is our sister.
Yeah.
And what do I think? So I think that it's great. I believe strongly that we're making progress, but we are in a very scary situation at the moment. You know, we're in a very scary situation, and you know, I am hoping strongly that our people who desire change so much will go out and vote.
That's all we need.
You see, that they will go out and vote. I'm happy, just like you said. I have 2 daughters, and the other day I was telling my daughter, I was like, "Oh, do you know how significant it is that we have Kamala Harris as the vice president?" She's like, "No." I'm like, "There was a time that women were not allowed to vote." She was like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah.
So, and I said, the fact that she's been, appointed to be the vice president, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, of course she didn't get it, but I tried to explain, but she still didn't. I'm like, you know what? It's fine if you don't understand.
When they go and learn history, they will appreciate it.
Yeah. So I love what I'm seeing with the appointment, but to be frank though, I really didn't care whoever Joe chose as his vice president. I didn't care. I love the fact that he chose Kamala Harris, but I really didn't care. Here's why I don't care. Who else is the better option? Who else?
Well, he could have.
He could have chosen
Elizabeth Warren.
Elizabeth Warren. I wouldn't have loved that idea. Here is why. Elizabeth is also old.
I know.
So we have 2 old plus 70 plus in the office. It doesn't make sense. And he could have also chosen this lady from Atlanta. What's her name?
Oh, that black lady.
Tracy Adams.
Stacey Adams.
Stacey Adams.
Yeah.
He could have chosen Stacey Adams. I would have, felt the same way, but I just didn't care about who the vice president is. I just wanted 45 out of the office. Period.
So even if you put a dog in there, you go with a dog.
See, sometimes when you treat a dog nicely, they treat you nicely too, until they become hungry, and then they attack you.
Yeah.
I would rather have a dog in the office. Seriously, compared to what we have now. It's so funny to think that we have so much hatred towards Obama
just because
that would appoint anything into office.
Not anybody,
anything into office. Not anybody, anything into office.
What did he do?
I don't know. It's a black person. Period.
No, okay.
That's the only thing that Obama did wrong.
Let's talk about this. 45 thinks Kamala is not American.
Oh yeah, the same way he said Obama wasn't American.
Obama.
Yeah.
Don't you think it comes back to the same thing that we're talking about, that they think that every black person that is not American, you don't belong to this country.
Yeah.
So even if your parents, grandparents, whatever, you don't belong. So it's the same narrative that he was pulling. So when Trump said that Obama wasn't American, he wasn't talking about his birth certificate.
No.
He was talking about ancient days. Whatever happened, that you guys don't belong here.
See,
so that's why they came out to vote for him.
And we know that. People like you and I, we know that. Like I've said before, we do not have a problem with the acceptance of our, the way we have migrated. We have no issue with it. I say it boldly, I was not born here.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem saying that. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
But you see, if you are a white person and you were born here. You are an American, yes, but your great grandfather,
Yeah.
they also migrated here. Is that from Swiss or from
Like,
Europe
Ireland
or
or
from
like-
some island? They moved their bag and baggages and moved themselves here. The citizenship that you talk about, they gave it to you. So the same way, Obama too. You understand what I'm saying? The dad came from Kenya, met the mom here, and then he was born here. So the same claim that a white person has, a white person whose great grandfather migrated from
it's just
Swiss.
because I came here first. So that's what they're trying to tell you. I came here first. Even though there's a possibility that these slaves who came during the plantation era, they came earlier. But most Italians came like in the latter parts of the 19th century.
Yeah.
Okay, of the 19th century, 1880, even 1920. They came in the 1900s. You came in the 1600s. They still regard you as a foreigner and he's there.
And you see, the fact that-
It's such a sad
it is
thing
sad.
to even
It
think
is
about.
sad. And the fact that every time we talk about the first African American to do this, the first African American to do that, it's sad that we still talk about that. But when you think about it deeply, it makes sense, because we're realizing that back in the day, you
were
were
not
not even allowed
To compete,
to compete.
or even like
You're not even allowed to vote.
you
not allowed to
were
vote.
regarded as
You're
a
not-
property.
You understand what I'm saying?
You're not a human being,
You're
a property.
not. No. So the fact that we're making progress every single time, it's great. But the fact that it's a complicated situation, because the fact that we're making progress is great, but the fact that we're actually having a conversation about the progress, it's sad.
We have to start. We have to start.
You
making-
understand what I'm saying?
It's so sad.
Because
It's like why?
tell me what is different between you and I. You're white and black. That's it. You're smart, I'm smart. You're good looking, I'm good looking. So tell me, what is it about you that makes me non-human, that makes you human?
Because I'm white.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Because I'm white.
so- and-
My parents came 60 years ago, but I'm still white.
Now let me shock you. Let me shock you. If anybody should be claiming superiority, okay, if anyone should be claiming superiority, it should be black people.
I think we've been through a lot.
It should be us claiming that superiority, but we're not. We're not interested.
No,
We're not interested.
Did you see this? I think it was a small video about this lady who was he was so passionately talking that white people should be glad that all we want is equality and not revenge.
Not revenge. Yes.
You should be glad that that's all we want, because you
Yes.
think that if we come to power, we're gonna do what you did to us.
Yeah.
So like now, if you allow these guys to come in power, maybe they're gonna do the same thing that we cannot take.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
like
And that is why you cannot take a gun away from a white man. You cannot.
but
See, that is the
the
power.
poor white person, lock him in jail.
Yeah. See, the thing about it is this: take a gun away from a white man, you've killed them.
That's all they got.
That's
the only power.
That
they
is all they have. You have physical strength that you don't have to go to the gym to develop. You have physical strength. It's natural. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It is natural. You have physical strength, and they realize this. So how can they overpower you? Every white person wants to be in a position to show you that they are above you. Trust me. That's the goal that they have. You understand what I'm saying? And having a gun is one of those ways to feel that way. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And based on the kind of tradition that we have adopted, having a gun is not something that we desire so much, except if you're a hunter.
Like
You understand?
I told my sons, if you go to Africa, you don't even have to think about. I will allow you guys to walk outside.
You see what I'm saying?
You guys could walk to school back. I don't care.
Yep.
But
So-
here, like, oh my goodness.
Yes, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. So we don't desire a gun so badly, and we don't need one to defend ourselves. Except if you're going to war, then you need one. Or if you think, well, in the environment where you reside, you might be robbed, then probably you need one. But apart from that, there are so many ways that an African can defend his.
I mean, like,
self.
look, our hatred does not rise to the level where we need a gun to protect ourselves, because we are even afraid of guns. Can you imagine? I've never held a live gun before.
Me too.
Like,
I have no reason.
No, like, what is that?
I have no reason.
So when Corona came, okay, when Corona like became very like crazy, gun sales tripled.
Yes.
Why would you need a gun
To fight Corona?
No. It kind of brought them some awareness that they are probably gonna lose something.
Yeah.
That these guys are gonna take over.
Yeah.
These guys are, because like why would you need a gun during a pandemic?
Yeah.
You know, you guys are buying guns like crazy.
Yep.
And the Second Amendment is more to them like the Second Commandment.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, this is a crazy nation.
And that's
America
why,
is the only
and that's
country
why
where they
they're
are
fighting so much to retain their gun.
No, why? What do you need a gun for?
They need, because once you take that gun away, they have nothing. They have, once you take the gun away from a white person, they have nothing. I mean, nothing to defend themselves. Nothing. So the fact that you feel the need to defend yourself
from what?
From a particular race that has never made any attempt.
Who doesn't even care?
Who doesn't even care? Shows that you realize. You live
in panic. You think you're sitting on a time bomb.
There is no way that you feel the need to defend yourself against somebody who has not done anything to harm you. But except if you now realize that you have harmed the other race.
Yeah.
You know what you've done to them, and you know strongly that a day is coming.
Yeah.
That is what it's based on. You know that a day is coming that this particular group of people will be ready to fight back. And then when they are ready to fight back, you also have to be ready to fight. And what other way can you fight without a gun?
Wow. This is All Power TV. We talk about very touchy issues, very interesting topics, stuff that needs to be told, you know, whether you like it or not, because we are evolving. We've been in America for a while. Our kids are going to be Americans.
They're already Americans.
It's so sad sometimes to say. You wish you can take them back or get them into the traditional culture.
Get them into
where they see their parents, they see their parents and they will bow. You know,
brother, like I mean,
it's like Jackie Chan was complaining that his son like hi daddy in the ground. Like what? When he saw his dad, he will get up.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
But anyway, so this All Power TV. Please subscribe. Most Africans don't want to vote Democratic.
Yeah.
Because they think gayism, abortion. What is your take on that?
So you see, being gay and going through abortion, these are very, very sensitive conversation to have with anyone.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of hypocrisy around people when they say that they want everyone around them to be happy. But if they are gay, then you have a problem. They want everybody around them to be happy. If they have an abortion, then you have a problem. So you're telling me that there's a grade to the level of happiness that you want them to attain.
No. But do you have to dictate how happy I should be?
Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you want me to be happy, it goes to say that whatsoever it is that make me happy, you support it. But if that is not the kind of happiness that you wish me, then you really don't want me to be happy. Now, you ask me, what do I see?
Yeah, because most Africans you are in this tough like dilemma now, like,
and you don't blame us though.
Yeah, like, you know, because back home in Africa we are very conservative.
Yes, we are.
But when we come here, it's like, wait a minute, reality sets in. Like, wait a minute.
So I think that's how we have to look at the situation. Back home, right? Let me also remind you that we have gay people in Africa.
Plenty.
You see what we just said at the same time?
No. Most of the politicians, it's the same thing.
You see, we have them plenty, but it's not like a televised kind of.
Yeah, because it hasn't been given a name or a title or recognition.
You get what I'm saying? So because of that, people are coding it. Right? People are coding it. They're not doing it. They're not doing this gay thing openly. But we've actually evolved so much that people have traveled, people have been places, they're going around,
Yeah.
they're seeing things, and those who are actually having the tendency to be gay are beginning to see that. So there's a country where I can freely express myself, and that's one of the great things about this country. It allows you to express yourself.
Whatever is in you can come out, can be developed.
Can be developed into whatever it is that you think you want it to be. You understand what I'm saying? So those are one of the beauty of the country. So now, if you're talking about people being gay, personally, if I may just go straight for it, personally, I have no issue with anyone being gay. It is not in my place. It is not in my place to say, oh, because you're gay, you're going to rot in hell. Am I God? I've done some crazy things in my life too that nobody know about.
Yeah.
That you know that what you've done, if God were to judge you, you would have been dead.
Yeah.
So if you know you've done that, like the Bible even says it, let he that sin not, cast the first stone. If you know that you have not committed any sin in your life, that you're pure, you throw the first stone. But if you know that you've done some wrong stuff, and there are people in this country who say they are against gay people, but they've done worse. Send thousands. There are so many judge that have sent thousands
of people,
innocent people
lives.
to life.
They knew they were innocent,
and they know they're innocent, but they yet send them to jail. And they're not sending them to jail for 1 year to life imprisonment,
20-30 years. And
we have thousands of African Americans that have been locked up in jail for life for a sin they never committed. There was no evidence backing this offense. None. But they yet send them to jail. So are you telling me that you sent an innocent person to jail to life imprisonment? Are you telling me that you are holier than somebody who say he's gay? Who the only thing they seek is just to be happy in their life? You got to be kidding me. So people sometimes they twist the word of God. They twist it so much that it has no room for anybody to be free anymore. It has no room for people to be themselves and let God just take charge and just judge whoever he wants to judge. Who told you that you're clean? Who told you that you're sane? Who? Your pastor? So that's why I don't have anything against anyone who say that's his thing. That's fine. Go for it. But here is what I say. Do not make it my problem. As much as I want you to be happy, go for it. Whatever you want to do, whatever make you happy, shoot for it. But don't make it my problem.
Well, who shouldn't make it your problem? The gay person or you? Like,
okay, let's put it this way. When I raise my kids at home, I want to raise them, and there are some things that I see on TV. Is that I turn the TV off or I change it?
Yeah.
In as much as you desire happiness, in as much as whatever make you happy, I want you to do it. But I don't. Some things that I don't want to be my problem, it doesn't have to be my problem.
Yeah.
But when you throw it in a place where
I have to accept it. Then if I don't accept, then it comes up like I'm being regarded as like a homophobe.
Yeah.
It's like,
so then it's becoming then you're making it a problem.
So I think what Republicans and Democrats they are kind of they are missing the mark here. But I think mostly it's Republicans. They're being seen as the party of anti-gay. Okay, and they think like anyone who votes with the Democratic Party supports gay. But the thing is, they don't want to have this conversation where we can tell them that it's not that I support gay or not.
Do you know?
It's just that I equally don't side with you, but for the wrong reason that you think.
Yeah.
I think everyone is. I think we are all we all have sinned. And we falling short. We keep falling short.
And there is no
every
way.
day.
There is no way
For all have sinned.
There's no way to weigh anybody's sin.
Like this one is more sinful.
You understand what I'm saying?
And this one. Okay. So, but what Republicans are missing the mark is that they don't want to have this conversation, because when they have this conversation, it will bring them. And the thing is, it's all politics.
It is all politics.
It
is all politics.
Somehow they think most people go to church because they tell them faith. They don't reason.
Okay.
No, they don't think too much. So they tell them to take it by faith. They don't question what I say.
The evangelical?
No. So it's like I think Trump has exposed the weakness in the arguments that they are having. or he's exposed what they had it inside but they couldn't say.
But then they have a spokesperson.
They have a spokesperson who can say it's like Teflon, nothing sticks to you, so we're going to support him no matter what. He's exposed them. You know, because the thing is,
what's going on.
The fact that I'm a Democrat doesn't mean I support that. I'm not saying being gay is bad. That is their lifestyle, that is their choice. My only problem is that I don't want my kids to be taught that.
Hey, see,
so why can't you have this conversation?
That is,
if you have this conversation, these Republicans, these so-called people, they understand.
When I said I don't.
If I want my kids to do it, I don't care. You have the choice to be like, you know what? I don't care who you play with. Good. You know, but they don't even want to accept us or even listen to what we say. So like the minute you say you were Democrat, I went to Ghana and I said like Democrat, they were like, oh, Obama brought gays. I'm like, come on.
That is one thing that a lot of people have against Obama. Now, Obama is not perfect.
Yeah,
it's not. Nobody's perfect. No one is,
and he can make all the right decisions.
He's not going to make all the right decisions all the time. Joe Biden said it a couple of days ago. He said, even if I'm president, I will make mistakes, but I will try my best to make sure that I do the right thing. That's all you can ask of anyone. Any human being that has blood flowing through their veins, that's the only thing you can ask them. You're going to make mistakes, but if you say you're going to try your hardest to make the right decisions, that's all you can ask. Nothing is guaranteed. The only time you can guarantee anybody's promise is when that individual is God.
I was just having this conversation with this guy, I think about 3 hours ago, that you can't trust anybody else again.
I mean,
you can't hope for everyone to make all the right decisions.
Of course
you can't even hold yourself accountable. Like you can't make all the right decisions all the time. Sometimes I want to do this, but I end up doing this.
You see what I'm saying?
So it's like,
so if you can disappoint yourself,
yeah, and I can't trust myself.
If you can disappoint yourself, if you can't trust yourself, how then will I say, oh, because you're you, then you should do everything and anything that you say?
So no. Like, I think I don't know if I'm using the right defense mechanism. It's like, so long as I can keep the spotlight on you, no one will look at my failures.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, I'm the uncle in the house,
and that's what 45 is doing.
So wait, I'm the uncle in the house. I went to college. I couldn't do anything. With my college degree, I was the head of the Unemployed Graduates Association in Abeokuta State. But this nephew of mine also grew up, and he's not doing anything. It's not going well for him. But I know people are going to talk about me being a failure, so I turn the attention to him. You are a failure. You didn't do this. You could. So long as I'm always constantly keeping the pressure on him, no one will see your mistakes. If we sit still, this will be like, you are 48. Your nephew is 21. Why are you even comparing yourself to him?
Yep.
Why are you even fighting this dude?
Yeah, 48, 21. You're 27 years older than.
Yeah, but it's like, no. If I keep quiet, people are gonna compare.
Yeah.
So I always have to like find the flames.
Find ways to like
make it look like he's nothing, he's nobody, because like I feel worthless, so I have to make him feel worthless.
Yeah.
So that I project all the, as if like he is the
all your feeling, you project it on him.
No. Oh, we paid your school fees, we paid this, you are not doing anything. You know, we used all the family's cocoa money to take care of you. But no. So long as I am saying it, it inoculates me, or like it takes away the pressure from people looking at me.
Yes.
Because if I keep quiet, they're gonna be like, no, you took the money first.
Yep.
If I keep quiet, wait, you are 48 and you're still not married. You're 48 and someone is taking care of your case for you.
Oh my God.
You know, so I think there's a huge hypocrisy out there. You know,
yes.
I feel so sad. So you know, most churches, the pastors support Trump, but the congregation supports like the Democrats.
So how can you say that you're a pastor, you support somebody like Trump, but you are against?
No. Okay. So the thing is.
I mean,
the thing is, I was having this conversation like 2 days ago. I'm like, we are all politicians. So it's like, if I love somebody, I'll find every reason
to justify
to justify and to love him.
Yep.
And I'll minimize his or her faults.
Yep.
If I hate somebody, I'll find every reason.
Every reason.
They hated Obama so much that they'll be like,
reason.
oh, because of the gay, really? So, okay, take away the gay.
Okay, he wasn't born. He wasn't born in
what else?
America. Oh, he's Muslim.
You know,
how can he be Hussein
so
Obama?
the thing is, I think what most pastors are going through is that they think Trump is godlike, he's God-given, and so long as I sometimes I feel sad that they abuse God's intention. They think for God, they reason for God.
Yeah,
said that Trump could be forgiven.
Yeah.
Trump, God can use him, but God can never use Obama because Obama is in a basket of deplorables. Obama is a dead horse. God can use Trump, but he can never use a Democrat.
Remember that even in the Bible, right? Okay, when God promised Abraham that he was going to bless him and make him a father of many nations. When was it Esau that was born? It was Ishmael.
Yeah.
And it was Isaac.
Isaac, yeah.
So remember, it was the housemaid that had the firstborn before the wife got pregnant.
Yeah.
And then when Abraham became blind, and he was going to bless the second born.
Isaac.
Isaac.
Isaac became blind. He went to blind like Jacob and Esau.
It was that then one came and lied that he was the one because he couldn't see. He just blessed him. But do you realize that at the end of the day, despite the fact that he lied, they were both blessed at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Both of them were blessed, even though he did something wrong. So that is to tell you the level of Christianity and the mistakes that the Bible even allows us to have. That people are not talking about. People project Christianity as you cannot make mistake. If you make a mistake, you will die. You cannot be wrong. If you're wrong, you must die. But they're not preaching that the Bible actually, Bible itself leaves room for you to make mistake. For goodness sake, if you're a human being, you gotta make mistakes.
You have to learn.
It's a must that you make mistakes.
You learn most from your mistakes than from what is being told you.
That is how the Bible should be projected. The Bible should be projected in a way that it allows you to make your mistakes, allows you to realize your mistake and become better. Now, God wouldn't say because what's his name lied and say, okay, because of what you did.
Abraham lied.
Yeah, because you
Isaac lied.
Yeah,
and Jacob was even worse.
And he blessed all of them. Every single one, the entire generation, until he even got to Jesus, he blessed every single one of them.
And they all had their faults.
They all had their faults. So if he was going to judge them, should he have used them? No. Should he have blessed them? No. He would have crucified all of them and set them to hellfire immediately. He doesn't have to swear to do that, but he did it. He blessed them, and he didn't only bless them. He blessed their many generations to come. The entire year of Israelites were blessed, were saved from Egypt, and they saw the miracle of God. So when you think about these things, and these are the details that are in the Bible that most pastors don't talk about. So they talk about the ones that you want to hear. And you know, our people too, they don't read their Bible, so they don't really notice all these details. Many details.
The churches it's a systemic thing.
Of course,
the pastors make it so to the point that they'll make their word even more than the word of God. So don't go and read the word of God. Just listen to me.
This is what I'm telling you.
If you question your pastor, you're in trouble. How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you question a man of God?
A man of God.
Somebody that God appointed himself.
Yeah, no, God has anointed.
He anointed, or you ordinary follower.
He's an ordinary church member.
Yeah, ordinary church member, and you're not even regular. You are one Sunday off, one Sunday on.
This is All Power TV. We come here to talk about interesting stuff. We're just about to go, and my guest here, MC Omo, when he comes here, it's always fire. We have 5 minutes to go. What advice do you have for us who are on the fence about voting Democratic, about supporting Kamala? And you said something, next time you're going to talk about it, you said something about like us not writing our history, blah, blah, blah. It was something. And what advice do you have for Africans who are seriously thinking? Because most people go to church, they find it difficult, they feel like they have to paint their noses to vote for a Democrat. Even though they hate Trump, But Republicans did the same thing 4 years ago.
A lot
Democrats,
of us.
yes, like you. I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't know. They have to pinch your nose. They did, like in 2012, they did that. So before they could vote for Romney, they were like, oh, this guy is a Mormon, blah blah blah. Any advice for us? Like we are ambivalent. We are on the fence. We don't know what to do. We are immigrants. We love God. We are spirit filled. You know, but we have to support these people.
It's simple. Very simple. Here's what you have to do as an African. Would you raise your kid to be like Trump? If your answer is yes, then go ahead and vote him. It's very simple. If you will raise your kid,
If you expect your kid to be like him,
if you will try your hardest, because you and I were both parents, you know what you want your kid to turn out to be.
Yeah.
I know what I want mine to turn out to be. So if you want your child to turn out like 45, okay, vote for the 5. Vote for the 5. It's simple. But if you have seen 44 VP, Joe Biden, if you see 44 VP and that and with his character, with what you've seen, because we're judging both of them with what we've seen. You've not met either one of them. It's based on what you've seen. Maybe if you research. If you have to research on each one of them. I mean, for goodness sake, there are books. Read it.
a lot.
Read it and see the history and see the parents. You see what I'm saying? See the parents. Look at the pattern of 45 from A to Z, from when he was born to this moment. Read his pattern. And then go back and read the pattern of 44 VP from A to Z to this moment and see the pattern. Now, if you now read both and you've seen the pattern, now tell me, would you want to raise your kid to be like 45? Or would you rather raise your kid to be like 44 VP? You have your answer. That's my advice to Africans.
Wow, this is MC Omo, and when it comes here, there's always fire. We talk about touchy issues, or power. That's what I keep telling you. We come here to learn. We want to challenge you. We come here, we make the conversation so like feisty, because we want at the end of this every episode, you sit back and talk and learn about it. My name is Orasa Okodie. Like I keep saying, we come here to learn. Subscribe, keep share until it's unshareable. And on WhatsApp, you can get us 774-994-6574. On Twitter, it's allpower8. On YouTube, it's allpower TV. MC Omo, your last words so we can go.
Hey, I just want to thank you guys for having me, and you know, it's always great to be here. It's always great to share my views on your show. So thanks a lot for having me, and every team member that is making this a possibility. So thanks guys for having me.
Thank
and
you,
in case if you're wondering what I'm wearing, this is my side also. So I'm selling this. All right, maybe we can have the information on the screen.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you want one of these, you really want to be African, come and see me.
All right, bye guys. All right.